Welcome back, everybody, to the ESL Pro League relegation matches. And I've just noticed I look a little bit like Alfalfa with this little bit of hair. It looks very fancy. We just saw Windigo get taken down, unfortunately, very comfortably by EnVy. EnVy seems like they have found themselves once again after a poor tournament thus far. My name is Dan, and I'm joined by beautiful people who are going to analyze games and be incredible and stuff like that. That's what you're going to do, right? You're going to...
We'll do our best.
Yeah,
can I analyze your hair real quick?
I don't know what's going on. There's like...
You've got something
You
up behind you.
are
Yeah, it's
so
okay. Don't-
beautiful. Is that like the Alfalfa thing? Map number 2, guys, is going to be Cash. Now, we know Train didn't go so well. However, Cash is the pick for Windigo, right? Yes?
I think it was the other way. I think Windigo...
No. Windigo, I think Windigo did pick Cash.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain. We'll double check the vetoes maybe, but my memory might have been a bit fuzzy. But either way,
a lot of games.
We need to see something different from Windigo because they didn't look too great. Yeah, Windigo did pick Cash. Okay, so see, you get a stupid hairstyle and you remember things, and that's how things work. Do we think that there is still life in this Windigo squad, though?
I don't know. After that match, like, I expected Windigo to take that, especially on Train, but it seems like everything's... I mean, the wind has shifted from east to west. It's very awkward now.
The wind is gone.
Hey, nice.
Oh, Windigo. No. Yeah, I mean, like, EnVy, they just look like the EnVy I was expecting coming into this tournament.
Yep.
As soon as I saw the players that are on this roster, I was just assuming, they should wipe the floor with this relegation bracket, and they should be comfortably back in Pro League. Scream's finally performing. Happy is now performing as well. Do you think that they can carry on doing this incredible performance that we just saw in map number 1?
Yeah, I've seen Scream have like incredible performances on Cash before, so I was happy. It's a great map for a Lurk style IGL, but I want to talk about Windigo real quick. From what we've seen, Spellin has been a really good opper overall for Windigo, and I think a strong op presence will be very important on Cash, specifically on the CT side, where like you want to leave that opper kind of isolated on an island by himself and like let your team kind of be aggressive and dominant on the other side of the map. And I think that's going to play into Windigo's hands a little bit. And I think this map's going to be pretty close, but slightly favoring EnVyUs.
So you're going for EnVyUs. Who's your prediction, Topical?
I'm going to go EnVyUs as well. If this and last map is the return of old EnVyUs, I'd say it's just a sweep.
The old gods are back, and they are showing us what they're made of. My guess thinks it's going to be an EnVyUs victory. Bok Evan, the Bevan. How do you feel about this matchup?
I feel like that name is great.
Bevan?
Or B-Mode? B-Mode sounds good too. I will say this, he may not necessarily look like Alfalfa, but when he sings, my heart melts like a popsicle on the 4th of July.
Aww.
Much like Darla.
Aww.
There we go. All right, we're going to be jumping into things in just a moment here, but I do kind of echo the sentiment of the desk. I think with the way EnVy played, I don't know if Windigo recovers.
Yeah, I mean, especially going onto a map like Cash, it's a very aim-oriented map, a lot more puggy. I feel like EnVy, that loose style, they're comfortable with that. Happy's known to call that loose way.
But what's weird is this is exactly what we said about EnVy in the second map earlier today against AGO. I don't think they can recover off the way they lost that first map. I say the same thing about Windigo. I don't know if they can recover because the reality was the shining stars that we've been watching all tournament long for Windigo
Didn't show up.
They weren't even there.
Yeah.
Those stars faded off into the distance. They, supernovaed early on and exploded, and they are now present.
That's just a testament to EnVy,
no
right?
more.
When they're on, they can make your best star player look like anybody else. Punisher now catching a goosh to the head, and that is massive to start off this A presence. Happy lurking out that squeaky door, making a little bit of contact, and Haji finishing off Punisher.
Bubble back behind the quad box. They double up quad, but surprise, surprise, we're actually going to go B. I love this look, but they have to do it quick.
This is insane.
They have to do it really quick. They have to catch them off guard, and they can't really take mid presence. It has to be a full B main push. And they're realizing now the lack of presence towards A, and they're sending someone over to support. It's only one guy here, Spellin. The smoke missed.
Oh.
I'm not sure what happened. Spellin with the shots, 1-2. At least he slows it down, but wow, what
That's
a performance.
Massive. That's massive.
That's huge. It allows the retake to be easier, and the bomb also hasn't made it out because it got stuck in mini pit.
They have recovered it. Keo is going to make his way in for the plant now, but yeah, I mean, that was a 5-on-3 take. The flubbed smoke makes it a 3-on-3 retake now for the CTs, and Victor starting this one off.
Here comes the retake. It's all up to Happy. Bomb's planted default. It's not for him. And that could very well be it. They're going to stick the bomb. Nice shot from Happy. Victor's on the bomb, though. A huge pistol round. Unbelievable throughout. So exciting through the pistol round.
Dude, Happy. What a shot towards that try
was
box.
dirty. All the shots he missed before, like I've forgotten about them. He's been forgiven because that was insane. Obviously, in the end, he does not win the round, but still.
If he had one more second, he probably would have got there on time. Unfortunately, that defuse does come through. Windigo gets their first round here in Envy. Well, they're going to be buying, right back into this one.
This is something we noticed from them earlier. They did the same thing.
Yeah, even Windigo did this as well on their T side of Train.
So rather than save up, try to go for the AKs, which on a map like Cash makes way more sense than maybe a map like Train. Getting the AKs in the third round with light utility, maybe a flashbang only, where you can kind of get away with that.
Yeah.
They decide to force here, which is a little bit interesting. They are going to go with a smoke triple flash molly, and they also have the Mac 10 in play. So Haji's got a little bit more firepower to boost them into this A bomb site. Here comes the push in. Happy's done for. There's the FAMAS trying. It only gets one kill, though, and the site hasn't really been lost yet because they haven't been able to move out. The smoke is down, but they finally get enough cover to move into the site. The bomb will be planted momentarily, so at the very least, they will get that bonus cash.
Yeah, that was a good flash to allow them to cross into the site. Now the bomb going down. Scream's in a great position still to get 1 or 2 kills, as well as Kiyoshima by that quad area. I mean, they could very well pick this off if Scream gets a couple here.
Scream with the Deagle sending shots, but not finding a target as of yet. That big bullet not landing in the meaty flesh of Windigo, and eventually it will be the last player dying as Windigo able to get back in. Another 3-piece for Victor. He had 3 in the pistol as well. A good start for him considering it was a little bit cold on Train. Envy, though, with back-to-back bomb plants, back-to-back site control, probably even could have won both rounds, just depending on how some of those aim duels broke down.
Yeah, Windigo now, they have a good opportunity with Envy here on this, well, light buy almost, as we see Keo now pick up head armor as well as a Deagle. RPK picks up a CZ and light armor. Deagle's across the other 3 members, but this is really Windigo's opportunity here to start building up some cash before this first gun round. And it does look like we're going to see Ships playing almost a retake setup on A by that truck, allowing the bomb to get planted if it so does attack that site. But Happy now with that Deagle towards B. Ooh, just tagging Spill on there. We're going to see RPK take advantage of that as he's moving his way up towards the B main box and into that checkers.
We've talked about Scream's Deagle and the legendary status behind the man who wields it. But we haven't really mentioned Happy's Deagle, that classic Inferno clip.
Yeah, we talked about it briefly, but that Inferno clip is definitely something, and now maybe we'll see a little bit of that Inferno back here on Cash as Happy's making his way into that B bomb site very slowly.
Oh, Scream with the first Deagle kill onto Victor. And we've got Happy here looking to find someone's head, someone who peeks out just a little bit too far.
Look at this, though. The entire time they've kept these 2 people at B. Well, Ship's at Fork now. He's soloed out, and the bomb should be going down, actually, on this A bomb site fairly easily. No, Scream getting caught as he brings it out. And now we only have the forklift player and Haji left to recover on this.
This round kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
Keo peeks out. The Deagle isn't enough. Good damage dealt, but not enough to finish them.
Started off well, ended poorly, unfortunately, for Envy, who got the kills they needed, but not the plant in the post-plant situation.
By the way, pulling up the stats here for that first map, Happy finished 25-10 with 123 ADR.
Jeez.
Haji, 22-7 with 98 himself. These are 2 players that struggled on Train earlier today. They both were 0 and I think it was like Happy was 0-7 and Haji was like 0-6. So it does kind of illustrate the change of pace from Envy. But now they come into this one with the fullest of buys. AKs across the board. Ships is going to get close to A main. It looks like they want to boost up into the shroud spot. Hopefully they make no noise as they've already put Punisher up in position and he heard that door open. And I think they heard the drop, so they started spraying towards that position. They might check this.
Ooh,
but Bubble over
flash
on B, pop flash peek through. It's an easy kill onto Happy.
Punisher now up in that shroud spot. Is he going to be checked, or will he find himself getting a 2 or 3K? Haji now not checking that. He does get traded out by RPK, but A bomb site still hard to take here.
Despite the fact that he had a position, Haji actually did enough damage to him to get
Molotov.
the assist before dying. Keo gets flushed out, but it's a 2-on-3. It's so much chaos. The bomb's being planted as the CT side is actually moving up to Forklift. There's so much happening all at once. Again, it falls onto RPK. Gotta go big. And unfortunately, there's not much that can be done, and you can hear Windigo starting to get loud. They got to get amped up based on that last performance. They need to just be revitalized.
Yeah, Windigo definitely coming to life here as they pick up their 4th round now. EnVy, they should be buying up. We might see some light armor coming as they try to generate just a bit of cash to get those ops in the following round. But EnVy in a perfect spot here to buy up and take it right back to Windigo. And they have to, because right now Windigo starting to build some money.
Look at those odds. Unbelievable.
Jeez.
Because of the way that first map played out,
yeah.
everyone's like, EnVy's got this in the bag. There's no way that Windigo can win this. And everyone who went with EnVy is like, oh, God. Oh, what was I thinking? I made a huge mistake. Floor 0. Windigo starts out. It's still early. There's plenty of time. And I'd say this about Cash. More frequently than any other map, you will see Cash start out 5-0, 6-0. I don't know what it is, and I've been casting for now a couple of years, and I see it happen all the time. In this push, though, Punisher does not get spotted up on top of the boost spot, falls down directly into the line of fire. So they've now lost site control, and Scream will go ahead and stick the bomb for A main. It's going to be a good post-plant setup here for EnVy.
This is massive now. AK and M4 recovered. Happy picking up 2 kills with that recovered M4 now, and it's all up to Bubble, who's going to be sitting in a Molotov now. Yeah, he does pick up the op. He does head towards CT spawn for the save. And EnVy will be getting on the board here with their first round. Unfortunately, though, Windigo, they've got plenty of money to battle right back. EnVy, we're going to see them with a flushed economy after this round. They should be heading up, yeah, to that 6K mark. This is a lot of money EnVy are about to make.
Again, a lot of noise coming from the NA teams right now as Swole Patrol is duking it out with Splice, and that was them bringing the noise home. Happy's looking for that target in CT spawn. You can wallbang that.
He's going to go for him.
Is he going to hit him, though? Now he's going to go back behind the van.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about that.
Here's a timeout coming as well from Windigo here.
Makes sense. I think this is a good time for it. You know, it's still early on, but obviously that was a somewhat difficult round to lose. So they just want to talk things over. Make sure they don't let EnVy back in. You don't really want to open the door for them because they'll push past you and blow through.
What? Yeah, it could even be like they might not even be discussing things fully. Maybe they're just discussing how they're going to drop guns right now as Victor's on 3.5. But it might be just a freeze for EnVy, right? To make sure they don't start gaining momentum very early.
The pause does come undone. We'll see how the juggle ends up stacking up. It does look like we're going to see
double up. No, single up setup.
No, there's no way they go double up. That doesn't. No. This if they do, I'd be a little bit surprised. No, they are. It's double up. They have Spellin and Bubble going off because the op's still on the floor. That's a little bit interesting. I don't necessarily view maps like
I think they're going to do ops on the side, retake, and then play the heavy middle presence.
Yeah, 3-man mid, maybe op quad, op B main, peek B
exactly.
main, fall back tree room if you spot anything.
Actually, no, they kept the op towards middle. Spillon's playing at that sandbag area, and they had ships now push up towards A and play that solo and have that solo op B. So a little bit of a variated setup with the op in middle, but essentially still the same thing.
I don't really like the winged op setup simply because it's really easy to lose a site to a single op. I feel like maybe the A site is just I don't know, like in your opinion, which site is easier to anchor with an op? Is it B or is it A?
I'm going to say it's the A bomb site. Well, you're playing retake regardless on it, right? So what that allows is maybe you get 1 or 2 kills, but really you're just waiting for your team now to come in with that utility to retake the site.
Now would you play quad or truck?
Truck.
Yeah, so that's my opinion. Like you would play back off the site, let them smoke and flash, then you just play the post plan.
Find a weird off angle to get yourself 1 and just dip out. Exactly.
Well, that wasn't the case, but Windigo still have the man advantage. Bubble's still over on B to Scream get the peek. Oh, my God. Take a seat, Bubble. Class is in session.
They're actually going to take advantage of this here, heading right on into the B bomb site with only 2 people alive here. And it does look like they're going to get in uncontested as the only person, Spellan, is forced back because of that Molotov.
And they can actually go for the good B main plant as well, which is huge. Happy's in a fantastic position.
Haji's even in a further lurk position now. Happy's securing. Oh, Happy getting taken down by Punisher on top of Tin Roof. What can Haji do now? Because he's on that big flank, and he finds 1 in ships and then is traded out by Victor.
I think they knew Happy was there. If he just held his ground, maybe waits for them to try to make presence through the vents, but I can understand his desire to move because if he's too slow, he lets them in, Checkers pushes, and all of a sudden the round deteriorates. Scream can only do so much. It was really because of Scream that round comes together, that opening pick onto Bubble. He decimates the op on site, but it's a good retake in the end, and it's a good team presence from Windigo. Only player that didn't get a kill was Bubble.
Fortunately that's going to well, thankfully, not too much out of EnVy, as they did win that force buy. It's going to allow them to buy back up, but we do see, because of that reset, most of their economy dwindle and disappear here. Windigo now, on their end, well, they've got even less money left over than the T's here. So if EnVy are able to convert on this round, pick up their second, we will most likely see Windigo go for either a force or a full save.
Happy, setting up for a counter Molotov. Threading the needle with that one, straight on through. Flashbangs to follow. T-side looks like they want to take control of mid. Victor, though, stomps out the first player. The Flames not really causing too much fear. Scream's going to get taken down by the molly spread. The T-side still has to contend with Spellin, who is back behind the sandbag. And sandbag he will not.
I don't think Spellin saw Happy make the play onto Tin Roof, so this is going to be an easy frag for Happy. Yep. And now the bomb regrouping with his teammate here as they decide on what site they're going to attack. A lot of time left in the round as well, Mark, so they can just play with this, hang out in middle, wait for any aggressive peeks, any aggressive info plays from the CTs.
Yeah, I would love to see the bomb head back towards like A main and go for a pinch on A, but it's a little bit risky because you don't know if the player A pushed, where he's playing, what position he's in, so they're going to stack up right now in mid, work towards Z, and they're just going to dry peek. Ooh, wow. Well played, I guess. Good shooting from Happy.
And that indicates to them that's the A guy going down in ships. They know Bubble's the opera at B. They're going to head on over to the A bomb site. Easy bomb plant coming in here for the terrorist side.
They do have a little bit of utility, so does Bubble, but Bubble's not going to feel too comfortable reaching for that utility belt.
I think he's going to molly quad at least. If he doesn't find anything in a bit, yeah.
Now
here's the molly quad, yeah.
There's the flashbang to lead them out.
One.
First one peeks.
Ooh,
he's never going to expect the second. Well played.
Is.
Good job. I thought for a second they were going to go for the boost, but I like the fact that they didn't, because the boost just tells you this is where both of our players are.
Exactly. It's kind of like the double emo setup on Inferno, right? Where you play in that dark spot, let the first guy frag out, and you just hide behind him. So essentially they pull the same thing at quad. Works very well in their favor, and EnVy are on their second round. Look at this, though. This is what I was talking about out of the Windigo side. The economy being burnt. We see 4 CZs come up on the field here, and only 1 AWP mark. Is this going to be enough for Windigo to win this round?
I mean, Spellin was one of the bigger players for them on train. Maybe he can get things going with that AWP. We've seen how the AWP presence has been for ships, but in towards the door, and no.
Scream is...
He just gives him, he hits him with the stiff arm. Just brushing him aside like,
Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand.
Do you know who I am?
And now that A site developing as EnVy dumping their nades in for this take.
Smoke's going to go down. Bubble waiting for that molly to fade. Spellin's on site too, but it's not really a position you want to be in with an AWP. Finally, the peek comes out from Bubble, the CZ. Sending fire towards the site. Going to get doubled and now triple peaked, and it's all up to Spellin, and it's a terrible position. It really is.
Yeah, not even a chance there. I mean, he loses the AWP as well. I don't even think he would have been able to save his Happy. Lurking out towards that B was coming through the CT area. So Spellin was really in between a rock and a hard place there. EnVy, third round on the board, and we see the full eco finally hit from Windigo.
Very well played from EnVy. Windigo, they tried to stack up those pistols on the squeaky door push, and Scream was just having none of it.
Yeah, that was great by Scream. I mean, if he goes down there, not only does that give him squeaky info, they're able to recover an AK in that situation. And look at Haji now with the eco ace. A simple spray down, a nice 5K.
Just a golf clap. Just a golf clap for that.
Just a golf clap.
Just like, oh, you know, it wasn't eco, but he did ace, and it was a single clip, and he only shot like 17 bullets, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
like,
good for him. Good for him. Good for him.
Don't worry, I play for EnVy. I'm a big name guy.
Great round out of Haji, and that's going to give him 6.3 here. A lot of the EnVy guys as well. Look at the economy they've built up over these last few rounds they've got in, Mark. I mean, they're sitting pretty as we near the end of this first half. Their T-side campaign, I mean, it's really going to be well-funded here.
So you see the pause coming in from Windigo as they're trying to figure out, okay, how do we rebound right now?
Yeah.
How do we turn this around? Like, yes, we started out strong. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm like, I told you so. But Cash is a map that for some reason often gets off to a 5-0 start. It has something to do with the money in the first buy round. Doesn't work out well for either team to get a full funded buy that allows you to play the sites you're accustomed to the way you're accustomed to playing them. Plus, your mid control is weak because you likely don't have the Molotov for boost. You likely don't have the smokes and flashes you need to take it from the T side
Yep.
either. So in general, I feel like Cash has always been a map that plays that way. And it's proof right here. The proof is in the pudding, or a match between Windigo and EnVy.
Look at this. Quick mid-B split. Haji actually, he is going to catch Spellan, but Spellan getting a double kill now. Scream finally puts an end to that. That was the only person in the B bomb site though here, Mark. So EnVy now causing a full rotation, and look at Punisher, who's made his way through T spawn now and up towards that sunny, useless area B. But RPK's watching this. He's watching his flank. He's going to be able to pick up Punisher.
Well played. Very patient. I was worried that RPK was going to look away, and now Happy's looking on A. This is exactly what they did with Haji.
This is massive. This is massive.
They did this with Haji just a few rounds ago, and Haji only got 1 kill on this flank. He needs to be patient. They are looking for it because they know it could be coming through. There's that realization immediately, like, oh, shoot, they could be on A, right? Yeah, they are.
And they know where the last guy is now. His ship's pushing up towards that truck area. He's going to be forced now to retake this 2-on-1. The bomb is going to be going down as RPK gets into the site with the plant. He does have a smoke as well here, Mark. But ships, no Molotovs in hand. Only 2 flashbangs. Is he going to be able to do this?
Ships uses that first flash towards A main, blinds himself just a little bit, the eyes tingling from the bang of the flash. But that is a tie score now, and I think that's Keo making that noise. I'm pretty sure it's Keo. I can't tell who it is, but someone's making some very high-pitched squealing noises. And even though we can't see their faces because they're facing the opposite direction, I can see a general smirk on the faces of the EnVy guys. That is not how they looked when they played against AGO.
No, definitely. I mean, I was talking about it in the last map, just a complete different culture in the team right now. Everybody seems to be chins up, headstrong. I mean, they're feeling confident, and you can see it from the yelling coming out of them right now. EnVy, as Windigo go back onto another eco here, they're going to be poised to pick up their 6th and the first lead of this game. Ooh, Bubble in the vents, though. I mean, they heard the vents breaks. Bubble pops. He tries to make a little bit of timing, but he does get caught. Punisher follows suit and gets taken down.
Scream and RPK mopping things up over on B. A quick closeout as they go for the full house. 3 for RPK, 2 for Scream. 6-5. EnVy's been on a run, and Windigo hasn't been able to stop them yet. You might see more of the same, and it's a pause coming in actually from EnVy. Again, we talked about this before. I like this idea of an offensive pause.
Yeah.
Not like a, oh, shoot, we're losing rounds. Like, what are we going to do? More of a like, hey, we're winning rounds and we're doing well. Let's take a timeout and just talk things over.
Yeah, restructure your T-side maybe. Maybe you want to alter the default a little bit. Just get... And what that pause does is allow you to give that information to your player a lot more detailed rather than 15 seconds and saying, okay, you're going to be doing this on the default now. This allows you to break it down as to why, maybe explain what nades you need to throw at what time, when you want them to go for the pick. This is a great adjustment by EnVy. And we're going to be seeing how this affects this gun round here as this pause does come undone. And we are starting the 12th round here, Mark.
The 12th round starts as the clock ticks to 0. The freeze time undone, and action begins.
This is going to be a huge round for Windigo. I mean, at this point in the game, they've been economically reset. We're seeing the Mercy money come in their favor. But EnVy, if they're able to convert on this round again, we will most likely see Windigo go back to that eco, which will allow EnVy to further spread that round gap.
Where does that smoke land?
Oh, that's the quad smoke.
Okay, that's what I thought. Like, based on trajectory, you can assume that's squad. No.
Oh, no, that was for...
that was, it's between red box.
Yeah. That's the cross smoke. It's your cross smoke, yeah.
So that's like, if we can get outdoor, we'll execute. I love this play, though. Here they come pushing up highway. They really need ships to come up big. He's got some help from the back end from Punisher, but this is what allows RPK to get into the site. That's that deep smoke thrown by Happy early. Happy now from Forklift, again continuing what he started on Train, as Happy's AK takes a little bit of time, but it does get things going in the end.
Yeah, I want him to pick up that kill a little bit faster and allow himself to get out of that fight, but he doesn't. But he does pick up a 1-for-1 trade, turn it into a 2v2, and let's see what's going to happen from this point on.
Oof. Haji gets spotted before the smoke fades, but there's RPK. Again, the tank, Daddy RPK. It's okay, children. I'll take us out of this round. 12-6 for Happy, 12-6 for RPK as well. So even though RPK wasn't necessarily responsible for a lot of the heavy lifting in the previous map, he's able to do it still. He didn't exhaust himself in their first best of 3 today. EnVyUs is now on a 7-0 run. Windigo is really kind of running out of solutions.
Yeah, definitely. And RPK and Happy right now, I mean, they're flowing. Everything's going their way. Scream as well. I mean, once he comes alive, it's a whole nother story. We're seeing some great frags out of him right now, too. Windigo, since the first 5 rounds, Mark, it's been pretty quiet out of them. Victor now, a little bit of life as he takes down Happy towards that middle area. However, the majority of EnVy posted onto that B bomb site where we only see 1 member in Spillon to hold. Double mollies coming in, rotations as well from Windigo here as we do see the side of EnVy moving into that B bomb site.
RPK. First one in, the tip of the spear. The T side's moving in. Spellin's still here. He hasn't been spotted. I like that play, the double up. Pushing through the tree smoke and having the guy in sight attack. It puts all the pressure on Kiyoshima, the team currently on his back. And he's still lurking out of mid. They've got Punisher who's slowly working over from truck. Potentially will spot Kyo on the cross, and he does.
Yep. But if Kyo takes him out here, this is going to open up an entire area now for him to attack. He might even smoke. Yep, he's going to smoke him off and spawn. This is huge.
A little bit sketchy to pull that smoke out. He knows how tough it could be. But a good kill through the smoke nonetheless, expecting the peek from Punisher, and it does come through. He's still got the molly in his hands, but he did just use his flash. 25 seconds or so on the clock.
Good time here. With the bomb being in sight, it kind of shaves off, you know, the seconds of recovering it in checkers or whatever. So he's able to just play now, watch the other areas of the map. Oh my God.
Oof. I thought for a second he was going to get that second kill because ships started to peek. But in that time, he flicked back to sight. And it's a good idea. I mean, ideally, they would have a player in sight as well, kind of splitting the crossfire, knowing he's coming in from that position. But in fact, he was in checkers. So Windigo barely escapes that scenario. And again, EnVy's going to go for the pause. RPK, $16,000 and the best score anyone can ever have. 13 kills, 3 assists, 7 deaths, 1, 3, 3, 7. That's a reference that all you young bloods won't understand.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
You'd actually be surprised how many people don't know what 1337 is.
Really?
Yes. If you say even Lead Crew, people are like, what?
Really?
And then I just walk away. This is the same type of person, though, that you say, man, Michael Jordan was the best basketball player ever. And they're like, who's Michael Jordan? You're like, I am walking away from you right now.
The times they are changing.
Yes, they are. I remember when I used to listen to the records.
EnVy now, I mean, they finally gave up a round to Windigo here, but Windigo's money as we near the end of this half, going into these final few rounds, isn't really set. If they fall here, this final round of their CT campaign is going to be CZs, and not really much else. Very good aggression here, and they're going to find 2 kills as ships taking down Scream and Haji towards that A main area.
Ships, Punisher, Spellin, and Bubble do have a pretty large advantage. 2 up over EnVy right now in the 14th round. Even if EnVy loses out the round, it's a good bounce back. They started out 5-0. They made it 8-7. That's a standard Cash scoreline. I'd say Cash goes anywhere between 9-6 and 8-7 for both sides. So you could have a 9-6 T side or a 9-6 CT side. Kind of like that's the plus minus essentially for the map.
Yeah, it's a pretty fair scored map. I'd say that there are those odd times where one side just blows up, but that applies to every map almost, right?
Yeah, that can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
You can have a team, like I remember Cloud9 versus NIP, what was it, ESL 1 Cologne 2014? Where they played on Nuke and it was 2 T-side halves?
No.
I think it was like 11-4 or something, Cloud9 on Nuke on their T-side, and then Nip brought it back. So like that can happen. It does happen, but it's rare.
Spell out now, putting this into a 1v4 scenario as he takes out the terrorists flanking through that spawn. Kiyoshima now not even able to pick up ships, as ships with a nice little flick onto Kiyo will get Windigo their tie point here. 7-7 is your scoreline going into this final gun round, and both teams are going to be buying up very well into this final round. Full utility, all the weapons they need. Let's see who's going to come out on top. I mean, Bubble does have a Famous, but he's got the utility in tow to kind of compensate for that. So Windigo, they're in a good spot to actually finish this half in the lead.
(7-7). We are tied up. EnVy going for the boost up on top of the white box truck in T-spawn. Whether they'll spot anything remains to be seen. Kiyo gets one, immediately traded out by Punisher. Everyone was pretty much blind. An interesting fight, to say the least. There is Punisher pushed up in A main, hoping to live by his namesake and be a Punisher of Envy if they were to decide to blow past the smoke. The op, though,
Ooh.
for both teams could be pivotal. And again,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Happy was very much not on his game with that op on Train earlier today.
Not
He was
trained
like-
the last map
No,
for
no,
those of you
no.
watching
Earlier
the
against
previous
AGO.
series. Yeah.
But like he was on fire in the last map, and that really has just kind of poured into this one as well. Victor against Scream. Victor comes out on top as the Victor. Spellin will die over on...
Look at this, though.
The
It
B
opens
side,
up
though.
all of B. I mean, Windigo have been playing this one-man B setup the majority of this half. I mean, obviously, Envy don't know that. They're not going to take advantage of it every round. But when they do find those kills, I mean, they're moving into B very easily.
They'll be able to get that bomb down as well. It's all about the post plan at this point. Punisher is super low on HP, but he could be a pivotal aspect because he's the only player coming in from the opposite end of the map. Oh, RPK. Oh, he just gets
Just
caught
a little
looking.
bit of off time.
Yeah. The nade, not in the right spot. Ships his low HP, or Punisher, excuse me, with the low HP, is going to end up getting that kill. If he had tossed the nade towards CT, then he can isolate that double push coming in from B. But the truth is, RPK didn't even know how many people were coming in from B because he never saw it.
Unfortunately, Happy there, he double zoomed as that player started coming in, and that I felt like if he wasn't on the double zoom and he just kind of pulled out his pistol to reset his scope, he might have been able to pick up that frag, and then from there he could play around the left side of the bomb. I mean, it's a hard position to be in regardless, but that double zoom I think really bit him there.
I don't think it was intentional either.
Oh, it was kind of like one of those things where he just accidentally clicked.
That, or I think he was trying to unzoom to focus elsewhere. So I think he like went for a quick peek and then tried to unzoom, double click the op instead of switching off.
Yeah.
And went
then it just
back,
switched.
and it just,
yeah.
he just didn't have time to actually move out of that position. Either way, Windigo end up closing things out 8-7, but it is a pretty standard cash score line. We'll see what Envy can do on their CT side as we switch over after the halftime.
Here we go, second half starting. Envy going to be playing a heavy A setup. We saw the same thing out of Windigo on their CT side as well. We're seeing that meta change actually more so towards that as Windigo. Well, they're going to choose to just plow through that B bomb site where Happy is going to be playing the retake scenario. A little bit of damage exchange, but the T's into that bomb site, bomb going down shortly.
Ships.
Now this is interesting. 5 armors for this retake here. I mean, no smokes. Generally, you see the smoke retake for the B main, the checkers, the molly into sight. But 5 armors here. Can they do this? That's 1.
Haji moving into
2.
the site. Nice shooting from the
3.
USP.
Oh,
Happy gets in as well. It will be a 4-on-2 now. It's come down to the man on site.
Jeez.
It's all up to Spellin, who's just dumping bullets into his target. Well played retake from Envy as they take the pistol.
That wasn't, I mean, that's just a fight retake. You got to just buck up, pal, get out there with your USP and get those kills. And they do exactly that. Haji, great entries as he walks in, takes the guy down by blue tarp, goes ahead and gets the checkers guy, and then finishes up with the 3rd kill. Envy, they're going to tie it up with that pistol round win.
Envy and Windigo, 8 apiece. Windigo doing what we've seen a lot of teams do, and it happens more frequently on Cash when played out this way. They go really heavy on that buy. It's not just pistol armor, it's MAC 10s and UMP, it's whatever they can afford. And they might very well catch Envy off guard. There's an MP9, an UMP, and an auto shotgun in play. We'll see if they're prepared for this fast play towards the A site.
Oh,
Scream
man.
doesn't even get a chance to shoot. They're realizing quickly, oh
Jeez.
no! The rifle's going down as well because of the fact that they went M4 from us body armor
yeah.
and got ripped by the SMG.
So you were talking about the fact that Envy picked that up. They expected, like you said, Windigo to go ahead and go onto that full save to buy up into the next round. They're aiming for the pop flashes into A main to clear that A main early, get the info, smash through any unarmored terrorists. Instead, like you said, well, they're going to meet the UMP, the MAC-10 of Punisher, as well as Bubble. And that round's going to go the way of Windigo. Great force buy out of them.
I feel like that's more of the meta now these days. I feel like you're seeing more and more teams do this kind of like, surprise,
Superman
we're actually
buy?
buying.
Yeah.
You have maybe 1 or 2 guys that can really do much. There's Victor with his trademark whistle. There's Victor and Bubble getting loud. Victor was notorious for that whistle.
Yeah.
He would do the whistle and then the peace fingers up and down.
Really?
When he played with Rogue. I remember watching him play, and every time they went around, peace fingers up
peace
and
fingers
down
up in the air.
and whistling.
I mean, that's a
He's
great
a
teammate.
character.
Yeah, that's a great teammate to have. You want to have that personality on your team that can bring the other spirits up when they're down. And I mean, to have a guy like Victor who's like that, I mean, that's phenomenal. Right now, though, Envy, look at them. They're saying, you know what? They think that we might save here. We're going to go ahead and force buy right back up. Their money's reset. Why not?
Well, they've got the ump and the auto shotgun from the
that they
previous
saved.
round.
Yeah, exactly.
What they can do with that auto shotgun remains to be seen. Keo has been
I like
precise with
this.
it.
Ooh, look at this burst out to Squeaky, though. Happy hasn't been spotted either. He's going to take down Victor. Oh, he's going to get taken down inside, though. There it is.
That's a frustrating play for Happy.
Yeah.
It was all down to timing. It was just a matter of trying to spot a player before they wrapped him. And then if he was able to take down the guy on the far side of quad, grab the AK and focus on the guy quad, that would have worked. But there was a guy A main that he had to pay attention to, and then it just all falls apart from there.
Keo does find himself one. He doesn't go for that AK.
Was there an AK on the ground? That's
Yeah,
what he killed?
Yeah, he took down an AK.
I mean, the shotgun is just so powerful. Sorry. Can't handle that one even. Pretty good at keeping a poker face, but...
Yeah, not in that situation.
No, not really. Not at all.
Windigo will be hitting double digits here as they are going to get to their 10th round. Envy, well, unfortunately, they're going to have to go on to the save here, Mark.
I can see Bubble chanting and wailing, and everyone on his team is giggling. Like Victor right next to him, just giggling like a giddy little child having a good time. They're definitely happier here than they were on train.
100%.
Like
100%.
how could you not be?
Yeah, exactly.
But the way things went on train, I would definitely be thrilled if this is what we were looking at.
RPK has a flashbang in tow right now for this eco round. I think we're going to see a B main flash possibly here as he's just going to pop his teammates in to clear it. And this might actually work as look at the Windigo players heading over towards that B bomb site.
Now the push coming in. Ship's just going to flat out stand on the box, smoking up towards the tree room. Haji is burning. I don't even know if he realized it. He was flashed out, just cooking by that molly. The push starting to come through, and the round is already falling apart. Kiyoshima on site with the auto shotgun. No dice. It'll be Scream alone. A deagle, maybe a kill comes his way. Maybe. That's a big maybe.
Yeah, nothing's going to really happen for Scream here as he's taken down to 45 HP. Bubble's even watching that peak now. And there's Punisher with the auto shotgun to finish him off. Windigo, well, they're starting to run away here. The momentum, you can hear the confidence in their team. I mean, they're feeling good as we near, or as we start this 20th round of this second map.
Great to see some of the names we recognized from Windigo previously actually picking up the pace. We kind of mentioned it in the previous map. It was the Bubble, Victor, and Ships that were the stars, and Punisher and Spellin, they had to actually come in on train and try to make up for the difference. But here we've got EnVy going aggro into A main, trying to utilize the limited utility they have to get started early. Maybe take a gun down, take a body out. But instead they ate that nade.
Yeah, there was a great pre-nade towards A main, and that essentially dropped two of them down. And now on 50 HP, they both have to defend this site.
Scream gets spotted as well on the cross. He's super low in HP. Never really gets a chance to fight.
Haji, though.
I don't think Keo has any desire to go for this one. Keo's just going to hang back towards B and probably just play for an exit frag.
Yeah, that was a great nade off the A main. I mean, he realized that they were coming aggressively. Okay, I'm just going to chuck this nade, do as much damage as I can, reset myself so the CTs can't pick up that kill. And little known to him, well, he almost did essentially 100 damage to two terrorists with that nade. That was a great effort.
Keo picking up the AK this time around.
This time around, yeah.
This time he actually decides, you know, that AK does actually sounds kind of good. 12 rounds for Windigo as the noise continues. Punisher, $15,950. Ships on $1,250. Those numbers should be familiar as we saw the same numbers for RPK previously.
Yeah, right now, I mean, EnVy, it seems like Windigo on cash, I mean, this was their map pick for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, they're comfortable. You can tell right now. You can hear it out of them. EnVy right now are really struggling to put any stoppage to Windigo's attacks, whether it be the A site, the B bomb site, even middle, Windigo are having their way.
Kiyoshima and company back on pistols yet again.
Yeah, and what the scary thing is, right? We've seen EnVy try the aggressive plays a couple times now, and they've been shut down. What that tells to the players now, it's not necessarily that they won't want to do the aggressive plays, but in the back of their head, it's like, oh man, we might actually lose this fight now, as they've lost quite a few aggressive pushes that they've been playing.
Keo. Holding his ground. Just
Happy?
waiting for that door to open. Does
Happy
Punisher
has-
open this door and get his head blown off? That's the question.
No, he's actually going to smoke off for a Molotov for... Oh, there's the blow-off that you were talking about.
He was holding for
But
that
look at
for
Happy
way
now.
too long to miss that.
I want to point that out. Happy kept the smoke in his pocket just for this situation, and he also has a flashbang now. This could be a very scary round for Windigo.
What should have been turns into limited, but spun back
Oh!
around. Keo with the shot. It will fall onto Spillin again. Keo and Scream. Now both on the A site. And
This is a
Spellin
massive
has
round.
fallen back to mid. Now, does Spellin go back to A?
No, I think you just want to cut off that middle, clear it out, and look for any frags. Because going towards... Oh, he
Did you
spotted
see
the
him?
rotation. Yeah.
Pixels. That's all he sees, but Keo with the turn, a huge round, barely survives.
That armor coming in
Yeah,
handy for him there. Allowing him to take that engagement and actually come out on top as EnVy pick up a massive round mark to keep them in this game here. 9 rounds on the board for EnVy. They've still got a long way to go, but only 3 rounds away from a tie. Unfortunately, Windigo, I mean, their money's good. They're going to be buying up no problem into this, but very surprising not to see an op on the field.
Yeah, it is a little bit interesting.
Right, I mean, an op on cash, you see it all the time. It's not like it's Nuke, it's not like it's Inferno where you maybe want to play a little bit faster, a little bit tighter. On a map like cash, generally you do see the op show up.
But you don't need it. I
Fair
don't feel
enough.
like it's a map where it's a definite. It's a if you can pull it off, sure.
Jeez.
But a huge 3K spray down from Haji. He basically single-handedly wins the round, putting his team in the driver's seat. Bubble is the only one left on A, and that's it. The
Wow.
round's over. It's up to Spellin. He'll have to 4K somehow. Now,
With 36 HP.
the good thing is the way they played this, by not buying the op, they stretched their money out further.
Yeah,
So
100%.
by not spending their money on the op, and the other side of the op is it's a piece of the op that people forget too. When you kill an op, how much money do you get?
300?
100.
When you kill an opper, you only
No,
get...
no, no. When you kill with an op,
With an op. Okay, yeah. Okay, I thought you said
no,
when
no,
you
no.
kill an op.
When
Sorry.
you kill with an op, you get $100.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
as an opper, your money never really stacks up unless you consistently survive.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, I know it's a very small thing to talk about, but in the end, it is something worth mentioning. Now, those shots, right on point, but I don't know if the bullets will pass through that
If
surface.
it was 1.6, that's a kill.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in CSGO, it's not. And yeah, I mean, especially, you could tell that Windigo wanted to do a faster strat there. So in essence, they're not going to go ahead and pick up that op. They're going to burst out, allow themselves to play closer, tighter, and I mean, it works out in the end because they do fall in that round. They don't invest that much into the AWP. And like you said, they're going to spread their economy a little further down the line.
And then the flip side is, too, do we want to give away an op?
That's
Do we
a whole
really
other
want to give the
situation.
CT side an op and give them that opportunity to open up with the B bomb site pick, dropping off of heaven, just go for that fast pick, fall off, back to tree room, or
you
maybe
want-
even quad box?
Yeah, you want your opponents to essentially buy their own op, right? You don't want to give them that. You want to make
Exactly.
sure that if they're picking up an op, they're draining the most amount of money they can to get one in their hands.
It's bad enough they gave them 3 AKs.
Oh,
You don't want to also give them an op.
yeah.
So the pause does come in from Windigo. Whether or not it's enough for them to determine a route destined for success has yet to be seen. We'll see what they decide to do, though. It does look like they're going to be sending Spellin up over the boost, potentially. Nope, there's the Molotov coming out. No counter smoke coming in from Windigo to put out the flames. They'll just wait it out. Spellin getting a smoke ready. As he gets prepared to heave that one over. It's another A play, which last round did not go so well for the T side.
Oh,
now
great
Haji right on the
flash.
other side of the door. Scream gets one. It's one and done for both players on A, so the site has effectively been lost. But we've got Happy in mid. Pushing up. Is Spellin going to be prepared? Yes, he is.
Huge.
Happy has no idea he's here. And it'll
And
fall
gets a
onto
second.
Keo.
He peeks up over that boost and finds RPK, who's making his way into that middle now. And Keo, I mean, he does have a Molotov, but I don't think he's going to be going for this unless they give him an easy frag here. I think Swole Patrol's hyped right now.
Yep, that's They are. That's
And
both
that would be,
Swole Patrol
Windigo.
and Windigo. Windigo started making noise early. That wasn't actually... Swole Patrol was making noise before, but that was Windigo making noise before the round ended, realizing that Keo was likely saving there. But yeah, Swole Patrol and X-Splice currently playing right now. It's 9-7. It looks like Swole Patrol is actually up in the first map,
Good
which is
for
cash.
them.
So they took the... It was 8-7 at half, and they took the pistol, so...
Definitely showing up to play it this weekend. A lot of upsets for Swole Patrol. They're playing phenomenally. Right
I mean,
now,
they just took down Torqued.
yeah, I mean, that's massive. Torqued recently qualifying for DreamHack Tours as well as Belo Horizonte, right?
Now, Windigo going fast up into mid, kind of exploiting the fact that they know their opponents are on pistols. Oh, God! When the CZ betrays thee. Happy with a nice shot onto ships at least, but he's going to jump into the molly, take a little bit of damage. Oh, Molly's
wow.
still cooking him.
I thought that wasn't going to cook him that much, but it did.
Yeah, well, you know, mollies, they go up somehow.
It's
One
just
of my
the
favorite-
heat. It's the heat.
One of my
rises.
favorite molly mechanics is on Mirage. When someone messes up the molly to throw underneath Balk, and it burns on the balcony and
down
under
the
it.
ladder, yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
A pause coming in from EnVy, and it makes perfect sense. We might be going to map 3.
Yeah, this is getting very scary for the CT side of EnVy. I mean, look at their money right here. They got to decide, are they playing for overtime, which only gives them 1 round to lose and then go on to map 3, or are they going to buy up here, give them, you know, hopefully win this round, make it 11, and possibly, you know, make this comeback happen? Yeah, they are going to buy up. Happy on the glass cannon.
Even if EnVy loses this map, at least the series is still going better than it did with AGO. Like, I guess that's like the silver lining. Obviously, you would love to just 2-0 and get out of this one, be back in the Pro League, and they will be moving to Inferno. Ironically, I pointed this out at the beginning of the series. My map prediction earlier today for EnVy versus AGO was literally Train, Cash, Inferno. And they strangely picked Overpass, which threw me for a loop, but the other maps were still in there. So we sat down and they go, oh, the maps are Train, Cash, Inferno. I'm like, well, I'll be damned. Like, in that exact order it's written down. It's kind of wild how that happened. Happy with the shot. Able to take down the first target. The reason I bring that up is because I feel like those maps are maps that EnVy could potentially take all 3 of them.
Now.
Oh,
Lovely,
timing.
lovely.
Wonderfully played.
Just going to reaggress, get in front of that flashbang that ships through, and actually find an easy frag onto ship. Spill on now, making the play by himself towards middle. Happy chooses not to fight that, and he gets out of there. Scream, great kill onto Punisher, as well onto Bubble. And now it's all onto Spellbound, who does find Happy, but it's all in vain. Ooh, maybe he finds RPK here as well. Yep. RPK
How are
goes
they...
down.
They had no vision on mid, so they really didn't know where he went. But
Yeah, exactly.
just the ultimate lack of awareness. Like, with Keo
also-
right there, what is RPK watching? That's the bigger difference.
The thing is, I think they both anticipated that he was still in mid. They didn't expect him to just plow through the vents. Like, he went very quick there. He didn't even think twice about it.
It really just comes down to, though, like, you know, you have Keo, who's back by Z, watching Z.
Let the other guy watch your back.
RPK is essentially just watching, which to me just boils down to miscommunication.
Yeah.
Potentially, like, you know, what's going on in the round, what are we doing, what's up right now. They had the bomb down on A, so for the most part, they were trying to get over towards the A bomb site to just hold it.
Yeah.
So I don't hold against RPK, I just think that it just kind of...
Unnecessary death.
Yeah, it's an interesting circumstance, but at the same time, Happy's death was unnecessary as well. Losing the AWP, forcing his team to have to go pick it up, drop a gun again.
Yep.
That is important because they're trying to fight back, and if this goes to 15-11, their money's going to be shot.
Very slow play from Windigo right now. Spillon, he's going to be holding outside B. A simple default, essentially, here from the terrorist side. EnVy, well, they're not looking to get aggressive here. They're going to keep it slow. And it does look like Victor will be starting this off with a little bit of A presence, but it does look like mid is what the T's want to go towards.
Happy. Thrilled with how he's playing. Very confident, too. That last round was a glass cannon, and it did not stop him from peeking towards the mid area. He's been spotted. Oh, too many jiggles.
Yeah.
Jiggle too much, you're bound to get caught eventually, twerking essentially on that box. The molly lands on default, and RPK's in a world of pain. He needs help. The help goes down immediately. This is dangerous.
This is brutal.
It has to be a save because the reality is simple. Scream and Haji know they have no money. This is exactly what we talked about. Happy's death and RPK's death in the previous round now biting them in the butt because they're realizing, like, oh, I can't believe it. Like, now we would have had money to fall back on.
Yeah.
At least a little bit. Now they have nothing.
Yeah. Windigo, they're going to secure their 15th round now, and unfortunately for Envy, their backs are against the wall. Like you said, the money all drained. The reset is happening as well. So going into this round, we're going to see RPK hit that 2K. Happy just go above 2K. Keo is going to be on around 15. It's not the greatest round here for Envy to be trying to stay alive on.
Brutal round for Envy.
Great T side though.
This has got to be there's got to be a pause after this.
Yeah. I'd imagine they want to slow it down and just talk about this last round. But overall, I mean, yeah, we saw a little bit of life out of Envy on the CT side, but it has been a Windigo show. They are completely smashing. They want to go to A, they're opening up the A bomb site. They want to come up middle, they're opening up middle. The only really holds we've ever seen is when the individual skill of Envy comes out, like Happy's op round, right? He gets aggressive on his own, makes something happen for his team, turns the tides in their favor. But when Windigo is playing coordinated and they're going at those individual players together, Envy does not have a chance right now on Cash.
No pause. Interesting.
Maybe they've already chalked this map up and they want to go to Inferno.
I guess that might be the case, potentially. This is still very much winnable. You just have to go to overtime first. Scream on the op this time around. Not Happy, Scream. But hey, give the gun to the man with the best hand. It's actually a collateral. He shot the guy in A main through the guy coming out of door. That's the kind of turn and around you need. Spellin focusing his eyes towards the backside of ZRPK. Doesn't even see it coming. How quickly that round fell apart from a promising start.
Good effort, though, by Scream.
Yeah, I mean, I give him the nod for that one. 16-11, Windigo. Looking much better on Cash for sure. Still a little bit scary at times. You know, Envy just... Their CT side just was kind of...
CT side's what really bit them.
You know, a couple times they played aggro towards A main. That never really seemed to work for them.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I mean, like, I feel like the amount of times they got shut down on the aggro plays really... Like, the play style of Envy is really loose. Do what you want, get those frags, use your individual talent. So when you're getting shut down that early, it really hinders your thought processes on what the next aggressive play should be. Whether it's A main, where you think, hey, look at this. If I push A main right now, well, we just got plowed on the previous round. If I do it myself now, chances are I might get taken out and cost my team the round. So slowly but surely, it ends up being that mental game if you're not sure whether you want to push and make that crucial mistake.
Well, to talk about everything that we just saw and potentially give us some beautiful tunes, we've got Dan on the desk. Take it away.
You know I'm always tempted to give you beautiful tunes, but I don't think you're quite ready for them yet, Bok. The Betway odds for that match were 4.71, I believe, or something around that region for Windigo.
Wow.
Yet they still take that victory. We counted them out. It sounded like everyone else was counting them out, but they've come to play, and now we have a series in our hands. What do you think changed from map number 1 to map number 2? Was it just being comfortable on Cash?
I don't know. It was awkward, but one thing that Windigo need to do, 2 ecos were allowed. And it was really Windigo's map to win. It was theirs the whole way, but 2 ecos kept EnVyUs in the game itself.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think that Windigo had a pretty good early start on the CT side. They have so many rounds that went their way, and I think that kind of worked in their favor, and they had the economy pretty well. And then they lost that lead to an eco buy, but EnVyUs couldn't string enough rounds together to continue breaking the Windigo economy.
It's a real shame, the fact that Envy had such an amazing first series, and they just couldn't quite get into this game. There was moments of greatness. There was it round 21 when they were 12-8 down, and they were able to come back into it. They had that eco round, and I was thinking, all right, this is it. This is Envy. They're going to get back into it. But Windigo, they were fighting every time. You heard how loud they were during every single victory as well. The amount of whistling in this room is more than I've heard since I walked down the street this morning.
I'm losing that frequency. Like, I can't hear it anymore.
It's too high-pitched. It's crazy. But do you think this momentum can carry on? Because we were saying before the first map, we were like, all right, we think Windigo probably got this, and then we shifted over to Envy, and it seems like back and forth at the moment.
Yeah, we're all over the place. I don't think at this moment that the momentum is going to make an impact at all, because going on our predictions, a 16-3 or 16-4, whatever that first map was, you would have thought that EnVyUs would have taken that momentum and just shoved it right down their throats. The next one, it ends up Windigo takes the map. It wasn't clean by any statement of that, but I don't think momentum is going to have an impact.
It's also becoming very sloppy for both teams in the sense that they're kind of like breaking away from the structure and they're breaking away from the strategies. They both know that they have enough homework done on both teams, right? So let's start taking individual plays and individual talents starting to show up now, and it's just a bloodbath now for all the players.
It seems like whoever cheers the loudest and whistles the loudest seems to be succeeding. So maybe that's what we need to see.
It's psychological warfare, right?
It really is.
If you're not winning the warfare,
getting in your opponent's head.
Exactly.
And that's what we need to see in Inferno. That is going to be the third map. Of course, we are going to take a very quick break, but before we do so, make sure you go make a cup of tea. Get ready, because I think this game 3 is going to be an interesting one. It's the first all the way we've gone. It's the first best of 3 we've had all 3 games today. So it should be an exciting one. It is going to be us wrapping up today as well. So stick around. We'll see you after this.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Betway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, MSI, XFIT.